Have you ever went on a bike ride with a person, just chilling, just having a nice conversation, when you ask them, "You want to play some Destiny?" Yeah, you're not going to find a discussion like that on a bike ride, because you'd expect the other people to probably say, "What is Destiny?" Maybe have played it, probably don't like it at all, or you just think they don't have enough good internet to play raids and dungeons with you. Who knows? There's many outcomes to that, but I don't think a lot of people go on bike rides and ask, "You want to play some Destiny with me later that night? Go out to Chick-fil-A?" Maybe. Who knows? That's just me. I love Destiny. I've been making videos for it for a long time, guys. I'm going to keep doing it all the way up to the final shape, and I want to continue that. I don't know after the final shape. That's a little bit of a future Destiny type question for me, but right now I'm going to keep at it till the final shape, and I don't think I'm quitting anytime soon. But I love Destiny. It's a great game, and it has issues. I know, Gambit, Crucible, everything. I know it has issues. I know that. As a YouTuber, you have to acknowledge the problems. As a YouTuber to the game you're making content with, you have to acknowledge it. And of course, this game is never perfect, and maybe other games aren't perfect as well. But one of the problems I see is being alone. Now, of course, if you want to be a solo player, want to go play dungeons, raids, solo, all that type of stuff, you can. That's your life. I think that's great. You just want to do solo flawless dungeons, maybe even solo flawless raids, if that's even a thing, or whatever. That's your life. Good for you. But there's a lot of people in the Destiny community that are felt to be alone. Like, heck, from me back in Destiny 2 Year 1, Destiny 2 Year 2, basically, I didn't go on LFG. I was alone. I didn't really do a lot of raids as much, and when I got to it, I didn't really know any of the encounters or anything. I was just a person trying to play the game because I felt like it was awesome. And again, but I didn't play all of it because I couldn't, because I didn't have a friend group to be with. I didn't really have an active clan. I didn't have anything like that. So it's really hard for me sometimes to play all the levy raids or anything from Year 2, maybe even Last Wish at that, because I wasn't playing Last Wish a lot. So again, it was not a good time for me, especially because I was missing out on content that I paid for, that I was buying every year, because Osiris Warmind, Forsaken, but I wasn't playing it because I had no one to play with. And I think many people who are watching this video could maybe say the same thing to similar times in Destiny, where they just didn't have any friends to play with. And I feel like Bungie needs to acknowledge this. What if you had people that go and play Elden Ring, or go and play Warzone, or go and play any other game, and those were your close friends or relatives or whatever, and then you didn't have anyone to play Destiny with or get into Destiny with, so you miss out on dungeons, on raids, on any big other endgame activities to finish content like the seal, because there's going to be things where you're going to have to do hard mode of activities, and you're going to need to find people. Why isn't there matchmaking in every activity? Now, I know it's a bit of a stretch, and I know maybe some people don't like that type of thing, but I really don't get why there's no matchmaking in any dungeon, master or normal mode. And then if you go to a website and actually have to find people, again, LFG is not in the game. There's no, like, I don't know why they haven't implemented that into the game, but you have to, if you want to get, like, the boss of the Duality Dungeon done, and you had to go all the way to a website to then get two people who eventually join up, maybe after 10, 25 minutes, whenever, on a weekly reset or whatever, and then you do the dungeon, and then after that, they leave, and you don't communicate whatsoever during that time. Why? Like, if there's no communication involved in Wellspring or the dungeon, why do I have to go to another website, Bungie, to get people? Why is that the case? I don't get it. Why do I have to go? If I have to go and get two Tarnations or two Come to Passes Red Border, and I know Master Mo will give me a better chance to do so, and I have to go to Master Wellspring, and I go and grind it, but I have to find 5 people, and 5 people won't load up in my LFG for hours, how do I get this done? Again, like I said, I didn't have LFG, I didn't really go on LFG till like around Shadowkeep till the end of Year 2. I didn't really play a lot. Maybe I went on there and there, but I didn't really use a lot. I didn't want to be around random people with their mics, or even at that, I didn't know how to use it. Yeah, I was a boomer back then. Call me out. But again, I just don't get the point. If there's no communication needed to be involved within a game, at that encounter or whatever, at that activity, but you need to find people. Why isn't LFG in this game? I feel like LFG matchmaking, all that type of stuff has to be in every activity. Vox Obscura Master. Like, I had to find people today to do it, and it took me 35 minutes to find 2 other people to do it. Because no one else does Vox Obscura Master during this season. What? Why is that? Again, probably because people don't like it. Of course, that's probably one of the answers. But again, why do I need to find people for that? Why can't I just matchmake with 2 other people and master Vox Obscura, and there's no communication involved whatsoever through that whole activity? I do not get that. Timo made a video about how the struggles of a solo player a couple months back, and I gotta give him full prompts to this. One of the ideas of having this video be made in the first place. But again, why is that the case? That LFG is not in the game. I feel like LFG needs to be in the game. It really does. Because if you're just a solo player and you don't think it's good to go again to another website to find random people that will eventually leave you and you won't talk to them again, there's no like it just makes no sense to me. And I want Bungie to add like a category or something for the new lights who join into the game that need to have a clan, that need to have something like maybe a Discord or something that they can join up, and then people will be there to help them. Now I know the game might not be allowed to have like that type of stuff. Who knows? I don't really know how if you could just get like a little like bot or something that's sent out to your account, or maybe something on the Bungie page. I don't know, but I don't get why that like Bungie hasn't added this. Of course, I think it was like what Guided Games was technically like the beta version of something, and it's been in beta for like 5 years now. I don't really get the whole idea with that, of how it works, because you wait 2 hours. Like, I waited 2 hours for an Edo Worlds run, because I didn't use LFG on the Bungie website, and I just went on there, waited 2 hours, finding people, they were from Germany, and I didn't speak German, so I got kicked. That's my experience as an LFG, as a Guided Games player back in year 1. Really? Why isn't LFG in the game itself? Like, we had a problem with the lore back, right? There, of course, if you like the lore, like me, you would go into the Grimoire cards back in year 1. It wasn't in the game, really. You would go back into the Grimoire cards, or you watch Byte videos, or you watch YouTube. You go to someplace else, not the game itself, and you would have to go learn and read it, or watch a Byte video for 6 hours. And I love Byte, by the way. But you would have to do that. Why isn't there a way to just have the lore in the game? And that's what they did. They put the lore into the game in Forsaken, and they kept adding to it towards it, so you could read it, you can listen to it, you could see it, all that type of stuff. And then now the story narrative is now in the game, as there's a seasonal story building up, and Witch-Queen was one of the best like expansions ever to show that evolving narrative story. And I can't wait for what Lightfall and what the final shape has to bring. But again, there is a struggle here of being a solo player, because you don't have a LFG, like, or anything in the game, so you can't find people to do those harder activities. You can't find people helping you or showing you what to do. The New Light campaign, or whatever you want to call it, it's just bad. And I don't really want to get into like how the New Light experience is really, because it's more about like a solo player. But if you want to go play the New Light, campaign now, and you do some couple missions, but you don't really learn a lot of the game. You don't. Maybe if you watch more YouTube videos, you find out how to actually do everything in the game that it has to offer, how to do it, what is paid, what is free, all that type of stuff. But why isn't there, like, something in the game to tell you that? Why isn't there, like, hey, by the way, like, from the Bungie.net page, hey, join this Discord, join these Discords, these people are welcoming to you, and if you need people to do clans and raids, like, you have to go to a Discord or other places to find Discords and other clans that will accept you. And then even at that, there might not, because you might have not done the raids or the dungeons or anything. You need clears, you need that, you need that, you need that, you need to have the expansions. There's not really a lot you can do in that scenario, and it really just pisses me off a bit, because a lot of clans aren't really accepting of a lot of players sometimes. They are not. I've seen people that when I join the game, or when I've seen people just join the game and they're just trying to, play it, have been kicked because they didn't have one clear of a raid or something, and they just wanted to get a clear of it, and they had the expansions. They just didn't want to help them. And it's just, why isn't there a way Bungie could tell them, hey, go to these people, or hey, there's going to be these instructions you need to be aware of, or hey, then they really need to do a whole New Light revamp, and then they have to put LFG in the game. They have to. Like, again, this is something I reiterate. They have to put LFG in the game. They got to put matchmaking to every activity in the game if it doesn't require communication. Now, if it does, That's a little bit of a different story. But again, I don't see why you can matchmake with other people, and then it would just say you have to have a mic equipped or whatever, and then you would have to talk to them, and Bungie would like maybe like check that if you do, and then of course you have a mic, and then all those people have to talk if you're gonna like guide a games into like a raid or something that really needs it. But again, that's all you need to do. You can easily just have that, and then boom, you'll be able to be loaded into a raid or a dungeon, and you'll have matchmaking, you'll have people, and you don't need to go to another website, and you probably struggle or whatever to find those other people, and then boom. And then maybe if there's like some kind of like Discord LFG or some big other Discords or things that Bungie could send people, free people, like new light people to that way or something, then they would finally have, you know, a place to go to and learn and have just friends to play with. The Destiny community is big, and with 1 million pre-orders for freaking Beyond Light being one of the most pre-ordered expansions in Destiny history, you can imagine how much people probably just join up to the game and like, wow, this expansion is being pre-ordered a lot, maybe I should pre-order it. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe they pre-ordered it because of the reviews or how a lot of people are actually recommending it to the game right now, of being Destiny being at its pinnacle. But you get the point. Seriously, I just don't see the problem. Well, I don't see the solution to not do anything about it. I feel like they really need to add matchmaking to a lot of activities that are going to require you in a lot of, you know, expansions or quests or triumphs or whatever, and you don't need communication whatsoever, and you have to go get people. Weekly resets. Doing loot for, you know, the week, getting pinnacle stuff, getting that type of stuff, and you don't need to talk whatsoever through any activity, but you still have to go to a whole other website to get people. And new lights probably don't know where that website is until later on, or watch a YouTube video, or join a Discord to then find out they could just LFG. And then after that, it's a whole problem because people won't load into that LFG. I don't know why matchmaking isn't allowed to every activity. Bungie, please add matchmaking to every activity, because there's not really a point on going into a whole other website to find people if people are just generically, you know, waiting to maybe be put in an LFG with another person during that time. If there was matchmaking to every activity and they just had to have, you know, the game mic on or the voice chat mic on or whatever, and then you have other people to join with, then you wouldn't really have a struggle with a lot of being alone in this game. Because you wouldn't need to go to our other website, because again, me being alone or me not being able to do raids and dungeons was a big reason on why I didn't play the game as much. Or dungeons and raids as much, which was a thing I was buying, by the way. Again, people buy this game, and they might maybe not play the end game activities because they don't have people to play with. So Bungie, they are literally giving their money to Bungie. They're playing some of the good stuff, the campaign, all that type of good stuff, but they're not playing a lot of the good and awesome Destiny, you know, things in the game. Because again, the raids are what make Destiny like awesome. Raid experiences, day one, you know, that type of stuff. Because people don't have people to go to. And again, I wish there was a way how day one raids and day one teams can be organized, and maybe the LFG system, so you could put your wait list on an LFG team, and then those 5 people meet up one day, and those 5 people become like a raid team. Maybe if people are like putting that up, I don't know. I just feel like there needs to be something in place to these new light players that are joining up. Eventually, you know, content's being vaulted. The new light stuff, you know, that like the Red War stuff that would have been great for a new light Guardian, it's gone, because it's just content vaulted for another expansion. And once we get close to the Lightfall and the Final Shape, all that like new light introduction stuff will be gone, and it will be harder for a new light to actually play the game, because a lot of the content would be gone. And of course, there's a lot of, you know, mixed reviews on that, because people could say, well, they missed out for 3 years, that's their fault, or like, well, they need a really good new light campaign to sub in for Red War. Who really knows? And again, I know it's a solo player issue that this video is about, but the new light campaign has to be addressed with that type of stuff, because as a solo player, you might have joined up from a shitty new light experience, and then it's not really as, you know, the best, and then that really makes your opinion of the game bad because you don't have anyone to play with, and you get the point. So again, Bungie, please add matchmaking to every activity. That's my opinion. Add something to help this lonely issue, because it really needs to be addressed in Destiny. And I just feel like matchmaking in every activity needs to be in the game, because if you have that, no one's going to really feel alone during activities. Because maybe if you don't have matchmaking for activities, you won't do the activity for a while, or do it at all, because you just don't want to go to a Bungie website, wait 60 minutes on a lobby or whatever for a person to join up to eventually leave or whatever. It just sucks. I can't with it, and it's a big issue Destiny needs to address. Bungie needs to address themselves in the Lightfall showcase, hopefully, or sometime in the future, because this cannot go on. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. A little bit different, but of course, as we get closer to the Lightfall showcase, there are some things I want to address that Bungie should address sooner or later, because it's one of the issues with this game that I feel like, again, needs to be addressed. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.